Hi, today we're doing product review from multiple card supplies by Kardiko. So Kardiko is from Hong Kong and they have actually a huge range of products such as matte sleeves, outer sleeve, inner sleeve, magnetic card case, deck box, binder, and also dice. Right, so today we'll be doing review for matte sleeves, outer sleeve, inner sleeve, magnetic card case, deck box, and a binder that's too huge to be in the screen right now. So we go in that sequence. And let's start off with the matte sleeves. So for the matte sleeve, come in two sizes. Japanese size, which is the mini, 60 pieces per box, and standard size, 100 pieces per box. So for the Japanese size, there's 7 different colors, while standard have slightly more, which is 15. And one thing I love about the packaging will be this small little sample sleeve here, where you can actually feel the texture and look at the actual color before you purchase. Right, so this is one of the thing that we don't usually get. So most of the matte sleeve, this one matte sleeve, mono colored sleeve, they usually either come with a small little pack like this, or they are in boxes and they will just give some fancy name like red, but you're not sure of which shade of red is it, or the printed on the box may not be the actual color. So I think this is a very huge plus point for this specific product. And most importantly, this sample piece is not part of the 100 pieces here, right? So you have at least 100 here, plus one sample piece, right? So you can see the emboss, right? You can actually hear it, and the quality, I'll say the adhesive is actually pretty strong, the glue, to get spoiled so easily. And actually before this I already sleeved a deck. Right, so I have a sleeve deck to try the shuffling, and it's actually very smooth. And one thing about the emboss is if you're sweaty palm, right, you won't get the sticky sleeve after multiple uses. And for this kind of matte sleeve, monocolored sleeve, normally I'll use it for decks that I want to do a lot of deck testing, so I can easily in between game just swap out the cards to try a new build. And for games such as games that let you do drafting, right, this is the ideal sleeve to bring along. And most importantly, it's compact and good to shuffle. Right, normally I'll use this sleeve for games such as Magic for Commander, right? Since only 100 cards, so, and I believe the creator made it 100 per box for like Magic player. For Commander, where you need 100 pieces of card, while the Japanese have around 60 pieces for games such as Yu-Gi-Oh, etc. Right, so they do have the players in mind when creating all their products here. Alright, let's go with the outer sleeve. So the outer sleeve will come in two sizes, Japanese size, standard size, and they are all 100 pieces each. So today we'll be taking a look at the Japanese size. So right now I've sleeved my deck with this, and you can see the emboss, and from far you actually can see the full picture of your deck. So the emboss, the grains are not so thick that you can't see the sleeve art. Previously I actually tested some other brands with emboss, and normally your sleeve you can't really see what's the sleeve design. So currently in the market, so the Yu-Gi-Oh sleeve for mini is slightly bigger than other brands, and as you can see that it's actually more than enough, right? And to do other samples. We have sleeve from other brands, so let's take a look. So this is from Broccoli. Right, more than enough. And let's see, what else do I have with me? I think I have some Vanguard cards here. Let's try out for Vanguard. Right, so I have a Vanguard sleeve here. Right, this is also more than enough. So it fits all the mini sleeve, most of them in the market, which is Broccoli, Bushiroad, and Konami. Alright, and one thing I like about this being 100 pieces, so most of the outer sleeve in market comes in 70, 80, right, which is a very odd number, especially if you have a bling standard. Because example, let's have a sample here. Alright, so over here I have a commander deck, which is 100 pieces. So what happened is, when I needed to sleeve this deck, which is triple layer at this moment, right, I actually need to buy 2 different packs of 70 pieces sleeve. And not only that, because even if let's say you are buying sleeve from the same brand, because they are from different batches, sometimes the site will be slightly different. So you actually see like 2-3 colors, different shades from the side of the deck, which is not ideal. So having a pack of 100 actually helps a lot. And if let's say you are bringing this for like big events where you're playing like 8-9 games per day, right, most probably your sleeve will get damaged after multiple plays. And if you were to, let's say, switch out one sleeve, most of the time it'll be different. So example will be the one I have right here. This is from Broccoli, which is 80 pieces. So let's say if I'm playing a card game with 50 cards, like let's say card 5 Vanguard, I will need to buy another pack just to swap it out. Whereas this is 50 pieces, so I can use the first 50 for maybe like first half of the day, and swap it out for the same pack for another 50. Right, so this is definitely a lot better. You save more money with it, and the shuffling is actually as good as the matte sleeve, the monocolor sleeve that we tested just now. Right. So, right, this will definitely be one of the top in my ranking at this moment. Right, my favorite is actually the one I showed just now, which is Broccoli. This is my favorite go-to for outer layer, but I believe this is near, or maybe more, but I will need more testing out, right, before I decide to put this to the top or not. But for now, the initial stage when I'm testing this is actually really, really good. I love it, right? Not because that I received them as sample, but as a card gamer, I really love this. I don't really like embossed sleeve normally because the grains are too big and I can't see the sleeve, especially if I buy expensive sleeve, I want to show it off, and I can't really see if it's the normal emboss. But for this specific one, you can see it clearly. Alright, so that's for the outer sleeve. Next, for the Japanese sleeve, for inner sleeve. Right, so this is also 100 pieces. And one good thing about 100 pieces, and this is acid free, no PVC, additional premium protection, high transparency, exact fit. Right, so it's exact fit sleeve, which is what I like. So nowadays when you buy this kind of inner sleeve, so there's another type which is like a bit baggy, where your card can actually swim inside. I don't think you really actually protect your cards, so this is definitely something that I will prefer. So 100 pieces, you can see slightly blue, which means it's actually very clear, it won't turn yellow that easily. And over here, let's see, so we have a Yu-Gi-Oh card here. Right, usually I'll put it top down to shut off the dust as much as I can. And it's actually just fit. As you can see, the edge here is just nice. Right, next question is, will it be able to fit inside some of the deck? Because usually if it's slightly baggy, it's actually pretty hard to go inside to make it a triple layer deck. But actually this is, right, there's some resistance, but it's actually pretty smooth. Let's try broccoli. Right, it's actually going very smooth for broccoli sleeve, which are usually slightly bigger. And as for Yu-Gi-Oh, let's see, do I have a Yu-Gi-Oh sleeve around here, I believe. Do I have them? Nope. So I'll just remove all of this. Right, it goes into me. Okay, so I can easily have a triple layered Yu-Gi-Oh deck. So it's 100 pieces, which is I believe is a very normal number for inner sleeve. Right, so that's for the inner sleeve. Right, so as you can see, the blue means it won't turn yellow that easily. Right, next will be the magnetic card case. This is one of the more popular product that most of the card collectors will use. So you will use this to protect your expensive cards. So this one is actually for card size 6388 with inner sleeve. Right, so this is another protection, layer protection, I believe. Opening is here. Sorry, just cut my nail, so it's a bit difficult for me to remove. Right, the magnet is pretty strong. Right, so this is the magnetic card case. Let's try this. So we have the mini sleeve, which is your card will swim a bit. So let's say if we were to add a inner, right, it's still a bit big, so actually you can go for triple layer for, no, we can't, right, so it will be 2 layer maximum. Actually holds pretty well, the card is not shaking inside, which is a good sign. So this for mini. Let's take a standard card for testing. So for standard size, we have let's see over here. Right, so this for another brand, nameless brand, I received the other day. Right, so for standard size, right, it fit just nice with inner. So this is the typical magnetic case. And it's clear, so you can actually see, oh, even my hair is in surface. Right, it's actually very clear, so you can actually take a good look at your cards. So this is a very typical magnetic card case. The issue will be with the they have the UV protection, I believe. So you can get extra protection for your card. Alright. Next, let's take a look at the deck box. So this is the magnetic deck box. For the deck box, it's actually less than 20 bucks, which is pretty good for this kind of deck box. You have the silica gel to protect it, and also a piece of paper. Normally they will protect so that the annex here, it won't damage the surface with the color. Right, so it says that it can keep up to 100 cards with double layer. Right, so this is a typical Yu-Gi-Oh deck with 40 cards and 50 card extra power. Right, of course, you can fit it easily, double layer. So you can actually have like your extra cards here. And I don't think it can fit the magnetic case, can it? No, it can't. Right, so it's the typical size for the magnetic card case, but this is pretty steady. And the surface is cloth, I believe. Alright, so this is just like less than 20 bucks. And let's take a look at just before we continue, for the other sleeve. So for the outer layer, is around, let me take a look, it's around 11. It's around 11 for this. For the matte sleeve, it's around 11 too. So most of the sleeves are actually pretty cheap. For the standard size, the mini size, for the color is around, let's see, Japanese size around 680. For the inner sleeve, $3, $340, $350. So it's actually very, very cheap compared to most of the card supplies in the market. Alright, so we will go with the last product for today, which is the card binder. And it's huge, right? Let me try to fit this into the screen. Alright, so this is the D-ring binder with zipper. Right, this, you can see it's huge. Right, let's open up. So they even have sponge foam at the bottom and the top to protect the binder. Alright, and as for what's inside, I believe it's written here. It's here. So it comes with one binder, 18 pocket clear side loading binder page, 10 pieces. So you can have like 360 cards inside here, and it's zipped. And this is around $33. Right? Pretty steady for, and I believe they are bringing in the refills soon, from what I heard. So this is the card binder. Right, so the surface is actually pretty good, and I believe this is like spongy, so it's actually additional protection from impact. Zip. And right, one thing about D-ring binder is you can actually redo refills easily. So this is the metallic type. So at the top and the bottom, there's this plug where you just open it up to take out the page, and you can refill it easily. And because it's zipped, so you actually have extra protection to hold the pages in place. What else? Let's see, I have the old school one. So this is a typical ring binder. Right, so it's also metallic. But the issue is with that, because there's nothing to hold it. So if you were to put it vertically in your shelf, after some time, this part will get damaged because there's nothing supporting it here. So it will sag out, and you will notice that this side will start getting damaged very fast. within a few years or maybe less than a year. Right, so this is definitely a good way to protect the pages to make sure that it stay longer, and also it's side loaded, so, and it's pretty huge. I think it's slightly, oh it's two-sided. Oh, so you can actually sleeve, you can put your cards two ways. This will make it a lot more lasting. So the older card binders, right, once again I'll pull out the old one. Right, so for older card binders, when you are inserting the cards, it's also in one side, so all the pockets is here, this side is smooth. So what happened, whenever I want to rearrange my cards, let's say I want to rearrange this page, I will need to go from the back, right, to access the card, which is very, very troublesome. Right, this is definitely something that I like. I can easily rearrange my card without thinking. Right, so slide it, and because it's side loaded, I do not need to worry that my cards slip out from the top, which is what usually happens. Right, once again, typical binder. So when you're bringing it out, you're holding it, like this. Sometimes you are worried that your cards fall off from the top here, which did happen before. Right, they actually drop off pretty easily. Right, especially if you only have one card like this, sometimes it just fall off without you knowing. So side load is definitely the better choice when it comes to binder, but no matter how good is the quality, just take note that you should never put more than like 3-4 cards in a page like this. So if you have like sleeve, maybe just one will do. But let's say you are doing like simple keeping of your cards, try not to have too many, because if you to force it here, it will get deformed soon, and the cards should fall very easily. Right, so best will be one sleeve, and that's it, or maybe 2 cards at most, I believe. Yeah, 2 cards fits nicely for this, but just take note that because it's two-sided, here will get deformed. Right, but overall I really like this binder, and it's only like 30 plus bucks. This is actually pretty worth it. You can easily bring it out even without bag. Alright, this is very steady. And if you're interested to get any of the Kardiko product in Singapore, alright, you can take a look at the shops holding that's bringing in the product from the comment at the bottom of the video. And if let's say you're interested to get your local shop to bring in their products, or maybe if you're a shop owner and you want to try out their products, you can also contact Min. I also insert the link at the bottom. So right, this is definitely high quality card supplies, right? And because of some international issues recently, it's pretty hard for you to get like the typical brands. So this is definitely a good alternative to go for all these card supplies that you will always use, and because they are wear and tear. So this is definitely a good alternative to go for, to stock up, to help your community, and right, so do check it out. Alright, so that's all from the unboxing and product review. Right, so see you again